All right, checking out LiteCoin. Now, the LiteCoin chart, out of all the altcoins I've checked out so far today, surprisingly, surprisingly, LiteCoin is one of the more bullish charts that we are looking at. Now, you can draw this a few different ways. Technically, as there's a plethora of touch points here, you could even draw a horizontal ray like this, but we are kind of just range bound right now. I do find it interesting, like this is the most bullish thing that I notice on this. We are pushing up very, very nicely into the 4-hourly EMA ribbons, and we're getting a tiny increase in volume while we are trading in this pattern, and that's not normally something you see. Normally, once you enter a pattern, you start to lose volume, and I guess you can argue it a few different ways, because entering this pattern we had a huge amount of volume, and then you're solidifying in this pattern and the volume has obviously decreased, which does make sense. But the volume is okay at this moment in time. I don't want to say anything more than it being okay. 4-hourly squeeze bomb has flipped to the upside. The last couple of times we have done this though, they have just been unsuccessful retests of the EMA ribbons. You can see we saw a double within this same impulse here. But yeah, I mean, nothing has really changed for LiteCoin. If we go over to the hourly, I imagine we're probably sitting in/above the EMA right now. But like I almost always say, I really don't like to trade hourly EMA ribbons. You can just see it's fake out, 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 and they're switching up all the time, especially when you're traveling sideways. The EMAs are just within such a tight range that the smallest move up or down makes them flip bullish or bearish. So I wouldn't be interested in an hourly flip whatsoever. I'm more interested in a confirmed 4-hourly flip, and this is where the potential trade could be coming in, because like I highlighted, there's a few things you need to see a breakout trade successful. You need to flip the EMAs, you need to back test them, then you need to take out the invalidation point. A lot of the time what we actually do on LiteCoin, you see tons and tons of fake outs. You break up, you back test, and this is when you don't push up. So you come up, you back test, you fall through. You come up, you back test, you fall through. Up, back test, fall through. And I mean, we can zoom out and find a plethora of times where we've done it, but then once you finally see, you zoom in, and once you finally have that break up, back test, and then you push up, especially when you come back to the EMAs, that is a confirmed uptrend. And you can see it almost always works out when you flip up, back test, and head off to the races. At this moment in time, we're getting slaughtered by the what's it called, the 4-hourly EMAs. I mean, since we flipped bearish, we were at $125 and we're now at $69. So in my brain, it definitely makes sense. We're already getting a huge discount from up there, and I almost kind of laugh when I say discount, because in my opinion, LiteCoin is not really too much other than an old test net for Bitcoin. I don't really think it has any value or it justifies its market cap or price at this moment in time. That is just my opinion, but that being said, I'm not the biggest fan of LiteCoin, but I'm admitting that the chart right now does look a lot better than a lot of the other altcoins. So I'm just being objective in my analysis. LiteCoin isn't something I hold, but I always say this: don't love it, don't hate it, trade it. I may not like LiteCoin. That was a mouthful to say. I may not like LiteCoin, but I do like making breakout trades on altcoins in order to get more Bitcoin. That's how I like looking at things. So if we do see, a proper breakout, you would want to flip $71, and you'd want to have a big push up, probably above 75. I'd say you're not really out of the clear until you flip 75 and you do break over the top of this channel, but really $71, $72 is going to be such a huge level to get above. And bear in mind, you really want to wait for a back test of this, because you can see so many times you have these little fake outs, you come back, you back test, you lollygag for a couple of hours, and a lot of people get super excited when you flip, you come up, and then you back test it, and people get euphoric because you can spend like a day and a half in these, and boom, you just come right back down. So wait for the retest, wait for the breakout. Until that happens, I would definitely be sitting on the sidelines for LiteCoin. $72 and $74 to $75. These are both going to be, a big area of resistance. I'm going to mark this whole box red. until we get above these levels, then nothing really has changed in my opinion. Let's see if there's going to be any potential areas to get stuck at. Obviously the previous wick down here, but this is at 74. You're going to take that out already. If we draw from the most recent high, drawing it down to the low, there's not much significant until you come up to the 200 EMA. The price doesn't respect that a lot anyway. So I would personally be looking for a breakout trade up to maybe $88. This would still, if you did have this breakout, this would still be a lower high from the market structure. And as I've been saying, I think altcoins are macro bearish. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, even if you did see this, you could see this breakout, and once again, you know, daily EMAs are coming in at 77 to 78, and then the top of these are going to be coming in at 92. You've got your 618. This is going to be resistance. All in all, I'm really not interested in altcoin trades at this moment in time. I did just want to highlight it. I imagine a lot of people might spot this and maybe want to bite the bullet on this trade. I do just think there's a lot of resistance over the top of our heads. If anything, you know my plan. I've really been hammering this in. I am waiting for a macro signal that Bitcoin has bottomed, and in my opinion there is no macro Bitcoin bottoming signal at this moment in time. So I would definitely be sitting on the sidelines for LiteCoin. Best of luck if you plan on trading it anyway. Like I said, altcoins definitely not for me right now. I've been looking at a lot of charts. Bitcoin dominance looks like it wants to break out. On the daily, we're currently back testing the breakout level, so you know, there's a long way to go for altcoins. Be very, very careful if you're getting over exuberant and trading a lot of altcoins at this moment in time. I think more likely than not, this nice pattern that we're seeing is probably going to get broken down by the time we either come into 72 or by the time we come into 75. And even if we do make it over the top there, you can see the daily EMA ribbons. You do not have the best likelihood of getting above these, at least. Looking at what we've done so far, you know, we've been getting slaughtered since these flipped at $207. We're at $69 right now. If you've been waiting patiently on the sidelines for these EMAs to flip bullish again, I see no reason to kind of jump in and be over exuberant at this moment in time, because trend is your friend until the end. Until we flip these EMA ribbons, which I would love to see, I am unfortunately going to be sitting on the sidelines. You could potentially see maybe an $88, $89 flip. But, you know, until then, all I really see is dead cat bounces, lower price targets. You can also see we are in a pretty wham bear flag, which obviously has a higher likelihood of breaking down. We're also in yeah, I mean, this would be a rising wedge anyway. So I think the breakdown is more likely, is what I'm trying to say. That's all I've got for LiteCoin. I'm not taking this trade. I'm not taking any altcoin trades. I think Bitcoin is more likely to break down over the next week or so than up. That does not mean we can't come up to 30,000. Keep your eyes on that as well. For example, if Bitcoin starts breaking up, gets rejected off 30,000, you might even see LiteCoin try and push up to 75 in the short term before a rejection. So I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'll let you know when that changes, but until then, cowboy out. Peace.